Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather. Today we are embarking on a new vlog to find out if I like podcasts in my books. I honestly have never listened to a podcast, but for whatever reason, books with podcasts interest me. There's quite a few out there that I've been like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I've got 3 on my bookshelf so I can work through some of these books, and that'll be awesome. And we can find out a little bit more about if I like podcast books. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe, and then we'll talk about the books that I'm going to be reading, and I will rank them according to what I think is going to be my favorite. So the first book I'm going to be reading is The Night Swim by Goldin, and this one, from what I know, has a podcast, and I think it involves like a sexual assault or a rape, like maybe like a true crime kind of podcast about that. Next, we have Radio Silence by Oseman. I honestly don't know a ton about this, but I believe there's a really strong friendship in here, and maybe the friends do like a podcast together or something. I really enjoyed the Heartstopper series by Oseman, so I'm kind of curious to see how a book will do for her. I know that a lot of people have really enjoyed this one. And then the last one will be Sadie by Courtney. And this one I believe is about like a missing girl. I think Sadie's gone missing, and then they're following a podcast that is talking about her case. I don't know if they're like looking for her or if it's like after the fact and they're just kind of retelling the story or something. I'm not totally sure. So those are the 3 books that I will be picking up. I'm thinking that I will like Radio Silence by Oseman the most. I've already enjoyed some of her work, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And I'm excited to read about a friendship in a book as well. And then I think in second place I would put Sadie by Courtney. There's something that draws me to that book that I think I will like. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but I guess we will find out. And then The Night Swim, I think I'm going to put in last. A lot of people have really enjoyed this book, so I think that's the main reason I kind of picked it up, and I thought it would work perfect in this video, but I don't know that I would have picked it up necessarily if it wasn't part of this video and if it wasn't as hyped as it has been lately. So it's kind of on the bottom. We'll see. Maybe it'll end up being my favorite. I don't know. So this is kind of what I'm thinking right now we're going to end up at. Let's go ahead and just move on into the vlog. Oh, I don't know if that was me or the cat. Okay, so last night I laid in bed and was listening to the audiobook for Sadie and just doing some like mindless games on my phone. And then this morning I went for a walk and I listened, and I've been just listening to the audiobook this morning, and I'm getting really far into this book. And I was like, I really need to stop and update before I like finish this book. So I am on page 181. It's about 300 pages in this book. So I think in the audiobook I'm in the 60% somewhere. The audiobook is really good. I definitely am enjoying it. There's quite a few members to the cast, and like the podcast piece to it is really good. The way they really make it sound like it's a production that they're putting on, and there's an interview, and there's, you know, different people talking with all the different voices for the interview, and over here. So yeah, it's been really good. And so this book kind of goes back and forth between Sadie and West. Yes, it's with a T, West. So he runs the podcast, and basically he's trying to investigate and find out where Sadie went because she has gone missing. And at first he was just like, I don't really want to do this gig. It's just a regular missing girl. But then they find out that Sadie's sister had been murdered, and now she's missing, and so it just makes it a little more intriguing, and they're just kind of wondering what in the heck happened to Sadie. So you're getting like him kind of investigating it in the podcast, trying to figure out what's going on, and then we're also getting chapters from Sadie as she's kind of going through the, like, after she left basically and went missing. you're getting like a little bit of clues from each side of it, and they kind of coincide in certain ways, but not in other ways. It's very interesting, and I'm trying to like put all the little clues together and figure out what happened and where Sadie's at, and you know, obviously have not figured it out. I'm not really sure where this story is fully going to go yet. I'm not 100% sure. And it's a really, really quick read as well. Like, I am just flying through this book right now. It is an 8-hour audiobook, so it's not super long, and like I said, it's like just under 300 pages, so I'm really thankful for that, because I'm really trying to finish up quite a few books in this last week of February here, so I don't have to take a punishment on my my TBR game. Maybe I can even finish this book in a day, which would be super awesome if I can finish this book today. I think that's very possible, and I haven't finished a book in a day in quite a while, and it would be good. Okay, well, the train went by, so I had to kind of stop, otherwise all you were going to hear was a very loud train whistle and everything happening, so... Anyways, I think that's all I really have to update on as far as Sadie goes, and I will let you guys know later if I do end up finishing the book. It's almost 9:30 right now. I'm just getting ready, obviously, and I have a test at 10. So I am just going to go sit down and get myself into a good mindset and try and totally kick this test ass, because, you know, I need to do that, and then we'll see where the day takes us. Okay, guys, well, I finished Sadie today. It's later in the evening. It's like 6:30, I think. It's a very quick read. The podcast pages go pretty quickly because they're kind of in an interview type format. And so, yeah, it just went really fast, which was awesome, and I was really enjoying it. Through most of it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good book, but is it going to be, like, amazing? I don't know. And then that ending, I just, like, went through for the last, like, 30, 45 minutes. I listened to most of the end of it because I've been really enjoying the audiobook. The podcast is so good, like... The cast members do a really good job with it, and all the music and the production quality they like did so good with. But yeah, that ending like got me pretty good. Like, my heart is just aching right now, and I don't know. I just wanted to tell you guys that I haven't run this through Compile, which is the system I use for rating. It helps me just kind of think through it a little bit more and give a better rating, but at least 4 stars. It might possibly be a 5-star. I will let you guys know at a later time on that, but yeah, this one's done. The next one up is going to be The Night Swim, and I might start this one later tonight, but to be quite honest, I really need to get some schoolwork done. Ugh, story of my life. So we'll see. Hey guys, it's a little bit later in the afternoon, and I am working my way through The Night Swim today, in between school and a few other things. I am about halfway. I'm like just a little bit under halfway, I would say. And I've pretty much only listened to this one on audio so far. It seems to be the easier, quicker way for me to get through some stuff right now, and just kind of what I'm preferring. I'm actually really enjoying, this is kind of like a weird thing that I didn't really expect, but I like downloaded this paint by number thing app on my phone. And I was like, this is going to be stupid, but I don't know. I was like, it looks kind of entertaining. And now I'm like addicted, and I just want to paint these little pictures, and I just put my headphones in and I just listen to the audiobook and I just paint these little pictures. So whatever works, right? But it's making me make some progress on these books, so that's good. Anyways, so I'm about halfway into this one. I have to say, the books that I chose so far for this vlog have not been for the faint of heart. They definitely have some heavier topics, and yeah, The Night Swim is no different. This one, talks a lot about rape culture and how we can blame the victim for putting herself into these positions, or that because she's talking and coming out that she had this happen to her, somehow she's ruining the guy's life, and like that people really feel and think that way. So there's just a really big discussion around that, and I can really appreciate the author for, really trying to talk about this tough subject. At the moment, I think she's doing a really good job of kind of trying to be objective and look at both sides of this case that we're following in the podcast. And we're getting some different interviews. She's talking to different people on both sides of the case, and the trial's about to start. But she also has a subscriber that's been really reaching out to her about a case from a long time ago that happened, and it's similar kind of case, and it's in the same area as the one that she's actively pursuing for her podcast. And so she's kind of looking into both. I think that at this point, it's making it a little confusing for me, and it's probably because I'm listening to it on the audiobook, and so sometimes I have to check myself, and I'm like, okay, which storyline am I listening to right now? And I would like to have, let me go let the dog in here. Keep the door closed and he wants in. I would like to have a little bit more depth and everything into each of them, and I know that's going to come with the story. It's just right now we're still getting there, and that's just due to having two different kind of cases going on. I'm enjoying it. I'm not super thrilled, amazed about it. I definitely would say that these podcast books are really good on audio. I'm really enjoying the audiobook for both of them, have been really, really good. And the podcast, piece, just, it brings it to life better. So I definitely am appreciating that. And yeah, I'm not disliking it. I'm very intrigued to see where it's going to go. And I'm very much just wanting more. I want more information. I want to know more about what's going on. And then, we'll see where the story kind of takes us. Hi guys. I am back the next morning. I finished another book in 24 hours. I am just flying through these. Linus. Let me pause him. I always want to film stuff at 9 o'clock in the morning. Anyways, so yeah, I finished this yesterday evening, and so yeah, yesterday I was just feeling very unmotivated, and I was like, okay, I just want to read, and I'm just going to give myself a break because I've been studying so hard. So I did do some studying. I just was like, I can't go all night. So I was like, I'm going to read and do my little paint by number thing on my phone. And I finished this guy, and I also started Radio Silence. So I got through quite a bit. I really appreciated how it talked about kind of rape culture and how that's dealt with compared to murder. She kept saying a murderer everybody hates, but rape can still be very controversial because it's really a he said, she said type thing. There's not always a lot of evidence, or how do you prove that consent wasn't given, and kind of a thing. So it just gets trickier. And I don't know, I just found it very fascinating and interesting. And I think it's great that she kind of took on this topic to write about. I did end up giving this one a 4-star compared to a 5-star for Sadie. And mainly because towards the end, the ending felt like a book or a movie would end. It had some twisting and some just plot things that happened that I was just I don't feel like this would happen necessarily in real life. It would happen in a book or a movie kind of thing. And after Sadie really made me feel a lot, and it made me feel like this is something that could happen, and it could be real, and this could be a thing. This one kind of veered a little bit more towards the fiction towards the end, I felt like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I like to read fiction books, and I love that and enjoy that, but just the emotions and feelings that I got with Sadie compared to this one were different. And so that's my main difference between this being a 5-star versus a 4-star, is that I could have believed that Sadie was a real girl and that whole thing really happened, versus this didn't like put me into that scene as much, if that makes sense. Where is radio silence hanging out at? So radio silence I did start last night. I haven't marked where I'm at in here. The audiobook's like 10 hours, and I think I'm at like 2.5 hours. So I'm a little bit into it, not like a ton. So this is following Frances, and she becomes friends with Alid. And Alid runs her favorite podcast, she finds out, and it's called Universe City, and the main character's name is Radio Silence. They're kind of just striking up a friendship right now. The book is literally tells you, like, this is not a relationship between us, this is a friendship. And so, I mean, it's just going to be, I guess, their story about their friendship and about the podcast and stuff. So it sounds cute and fun so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking their kind of geeky, quirky personalities. And I don't know why, but I'm always very entertained by when authors talk about clothing choices and stuff. So she has like burger clothes and like Monsters Inc. leggings and just some funky stuff. And I'm very much enjoying it. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. And I don't have a ton to say yet because I haven't gotten that far. But I just wanted to update you guys. I needed to take a break because, you know what? I'm trying to edit this vlog to go up today. It's my sci-fi vlog. It should be up before this comes up for sure because I should be putting it up today. And I made a mistake and now it's all messed up and I'm going to have to do way more work than I was expecting to. So I'm kind of like irritated a little bit. But anyways, my own issues here. So I'm going to go work on that so I can get it up for today. And then I have to go on campus today at school, and we're going to do some labs to learn some nursey stuff. So that'll be fun. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, I'm here to wrap this vlog up. I finished Radio Silence, which was the last book that I need to get through. This one took me 2 days, so I finished all 3 of these books in 4 days, which is like a record for me, at least at this point in time, because life is busy, as always. So I didn't enjoy this one quite as much as I expected to. I didn't not enjoy it, but I think, I don't know, I may not have been in the mood for it, or maybe it just wasn't my type of story. I felt like it was kind of lengthy for what it needed to be. It was like almost 500 pages, which is crazy. This is definitely not like a super plot-driven story. So I don't know, for me, like it being this long, I was like, okay, we probably could have had a little more plot, or we could have cut this back a good 100 or so pages. So anyways, let's backtrack a little bit here. This story definitely follows a couple of main characters and their friendship and how they grow to become friends, and it does have a little bit of the podcasts that they work on together in there. I definitely wish that there was a little bit more of the podcast in there, because I think that would have made this a lot more interesting and I would have understood the podcast a little bit more. At times I was like, I just feel like I want more from the podcast, and I'm not totally getting that, but I know that the main storyline here was definitely the characters. Like, this is a book that's just all about the characters and how they are dealing with their lives, and they are growing up, and they have you know, they have different parent dynamics, and so that kind of plays into a lot of this. And one of our main characters, Alid, he has a sister that left because his mom is just not great, and he's kind of dealing with that. So there's a lot of talk of different sexuality, like asexuality and bisexuality and such, and trying to discover that. There's also a lot of talk about like depression and abuse and like a ton of things in here. So I definitely would say like there is a lot of growth and development in that kind of area. It just, for me, was a little meandering. Like, that was it. Like, I just was like, okay, like, I kind of just am ready for something to happen. I'm ready for this to kind of wrap up. It just felt like we were just kind of following them along in their day-to-day lives, but a lot of times it was the same things happening over and over in their day-to-day lives. That's what I felt like. So anyways, this one landed at a 3-star for me, basically. So here are the 3 books that I read. Sadie was my favorite, and that one was 5 stars. The Night Swim was next with 4 stars, and Radio Silence was 3-star. So I still really enjoyed all of these. I definitely want to pick up more books with podcasts in it. I especially enjoyed the fact that these ones both had a lot more of that podcast element. I think that that would have been really cool in Radio Silence to get more of the podcast. And I liked listening to the audiobook for sure, to hear the podcast pieces. I thought that was awesome. So definitely going to be looking out for that more. And I definitely like the kind of true crime feel that was going on in these, so I may look into that a little bit more. I think that kind of gets into my mystery side of my brain. I enjoy a good mystery, but I don't tend to have a lot of recommendations for that category, so I need to kind of look into that a little bit more, I think. And so yeah, that is my final thoughts here and what I'm thinking, and I'm excited that I got through some more books on my bookshelf. So if you guys enjoyed, I would absolutely love if you guys would stick around and subscribe. And if you made it this far, go ahead and throw a dog emoji down below, and that'll let me know that you've been here and I can say hi, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!